So far we're having fun, but I think this was the one summer that we absolutely needed a break because of the COVID and the condensed season, and we were going right up to the end. So it was a well-deserved break from last spring, but we're back at it. The preseason polls came out. We're number 10 in the country, so it gives us something to shoot for, but I think it also shows the respect that we gained last year with our results. So, the group is working hard.
We had a great season last year, first team all-conference, and helping lead the team. Then you get to go to Europe over the summer, keep working on it. How are your experience in the past few weeks?
It's been a ton of fun to be back and be playing with the team and with everyone behind me. Everyone's coming out with a fire because last season felt like it was left unfinished almost. And we know we can go so much farther than we were able to because COVID, it only let us go to the RMAC Championship, and we know now as a team that we can go so much farther and do so much more. So we're all really excited.
There's a leader on the team.
What's up?
What's up?
A lot of success, especially last year, and now you got some new faces out there kind of build with you as well.
The freshmen this year have done a great job of just adding to our program. I don't think we've ever had to slow down with them. Obviously we have to explain kind of our terms and everything with them, but play wise they're just fitting in perfectly. It's as if they were meant to be here the whole time.
Kind of piggyback that for you, Coach?
Yeah, I agree. Cindy Leffler and Brooklyn Leggett are both really physical. They both touch close to 10 feet, so they bring something new to our gym. And then Libby how do you say her last name?
Bordendiger? I don't know.
Close enough.
I could say it if there wasn't 3 cameras aiming at me right now. Borgerdine. Transferred from Nebraska, Omaha. She's doing a great job as well. And then JoJo Woods, Jordan Woods, we call her JoJo, is doing a great job at libero as well. So it's been really good. I think, like they said, they're a great fit for who we are and what we want to become.
Players question you have everyone back from last year was a key part of the team. Now you have those extra faces in. Does that just kind of drive up the competition and practice every day even more?
Oh yeah, no one's safe. So every day we come in, it's just a whole nother day that you're competing with every single person in the gym. It's not you're going in and then you're just comfortable in your position. Everybody's having to push because there's so many faces who are making us better every day.
Coach, Savannah mentioned that last season felt like it just kind of stopped, right? Does that make the shorter break that you guys had this summer a good thing for you, or does it kind of force you to have a little bit longer of a break?
Not for me. I mean, after we lose a match, the best therapy for me is getting back in the gym. So the break was too long. But I think physically we needed it. I mean, we had 11 kids that were playing both beach and indoor at the same time, and just managing that and dealing with that was hard. With COVID on top of that, made it pretty difficult. So it was we needed the break, but I think we all want to be back in the gym and try to finish that unfinished business. So.
For you guys, leading the offense, leading the defense for a team that's ranked 10th in the country, what does that feel like? How much motivation does that give you guys going into the season?
You got it.
Go ahead,
Going
Spitz.
into the season? Yeah.
Saying it?
Will you repeat the question?
Yeah.
It's the second day of school. Second day of school.
Leading the offense for a team that's ranked 10th in the country coming into the season, what kind of motivation does that give you guys going into the season as right now?
It makes me want to keep leading it and keep playing hard. Setting a tone in the offense is how we score. Middles in general, we open up for the pins and the pins open up for us. So building off of one another. Sorry. Building off one another really helps, and being ranked 10th, it puts a target on our back. We're used to it. After last season, we were ranked up in the top 5 the whole season, so we're ready to go back up to those spots.
And for you coming in last season too, right? And coming in wearing a libero jersey and all that defense, talk about what that means being a defensive leader going into the season.
I think going into the season being ranked number 10 is something that I never really grasped my head around as being a possibility for myself. So it's a confidence boost, but at the same time like Savannah was saying, it's a big target on the back, and I'm just here to prove to everybody that we can be number one too.
So with the balance that you guys showed last year, I mean, you know, everybody knows you want to go in the middles, but your pins, your outsides were so good. And coming off a late spring season, just a little more momentum and knowing that the chemistry is still there because everybody's back, does that just kind of help kickstart the season?
You got it.
Yeah, knowing everyone's back and like nobody changed. We still have the same setters, same defensive players, same pins. So we can just keep growing from where we left off. It's like we just put a pause and now we just get to resume. We started coming back in and we started going just as hard as we finished. And now with the new talent, it's forcing us to fight even harder because sometimes we don't know who's going to be that starting outside, who's going to be that starting middle, who's going to be the starting right side with these new players.
So Dave, you just kind of feel like you said, you did have a pause, kind of easier to get everybody back into the flow of the season because it is still fresh and you are so experienced?
Yeah, I think that was a good way to look at it, was kind of a pause. The interesting thing is that that a lot of the underclassmen have stepped up and the freshmen are good, because I don't remember being this late into preseason where we don't really have a solid starting lineup, which is a good thing for us because we have so many people that can play those positions. So that is definitely feels different than going into like playing Colorado School of Mines in our last match, because that lineup had been pretty set for a while, and now we're kind of back to like, okay, figuring out who we are just as a starting lineup, and it's crazy because we're finished third in the country, and now we're figuring out who our starters are with everybody returning. So, but it's all a good problem because the kids behind are pushing. They're pushing the starters to get better. And Coach Scaff, I think, made the comment yesterday. We got two really good RMAC schools in the gym. We think that we think our first and second side could qualify for the RMAC tournament. So it's a good problem, but it's a little bit unnerving. We got 8 practices left before our first match, and we've got to start figuring out that starting lineup.
So with those 8 practices, you talked about kind of having those inter-squad scrimmages, and you have 2 good teams in the gym. Do those kind of help you be like, okay, these are going to be my starters in that first tournament, or are you just like going to kind of pick and choose because you do have 2 good lineups?
We've joked about having an A team and a B team, or a Friday team and a Saturday team, but that typically doesn't work. I mean, everybody's battling. Everybody wants to start that first match, but really you want to be the starter when we get on that roll. When we get on that 12-match roll where we're just not, where we keep winning, and that's when you really want to fight to be a starter. But I think one of the things that our team did really well, including our starters last year, is we gave credit to everybody because they understood that the people behind them pushed them to get them in the starting lineup. So it wasn't just about the 6 kids that were playing. It was about everybody. And I think that's what we did better than anybody in the RMAC last year, is we were really good from 1 to 18, and that's with 10 to 18 not even playing. They just did their role better than anybody else in the RMAC, and that was just to make sure that these guys felt comfortable playing. If that's energy on the bench, if that's complimenting them, if that's giving them feedback on positions, we did that really well last year. So I don't know if that really answers your question. Okay.
I understand it.
All right.
Just a roundabout way.
Yeah. I can get on a tangent pretty easy.
Savannah, what did you kind of experience in Europe, and kind of how did that help you going into this season? Or, I mean, it's an adventure.
Yeah. So Europe, the teams are very, very physical. You're playing the junior national teams for like the Czech Republic, for Croatia, for Slovenia, and you have to figure out a way to score against them. The middle blockers you're going against are 6'5", and they know what they're doing. You have to figure out how to score and what like your best way to do that is. And especially going in, I was with new setters that I've never played with before. So I had to learn very quickly how to adjust, and I think it's going to help me a lot here, finding open court and being up and available, because that's what helped me in Europe the most.
She's only 6'1" against me, not 6'5".
There we go.
That court's huge now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you got to figure out, something with Maddie being hurt, kind of figuring out, that spot. But, it's like you said, you've got the depth to do it. The way that she was so dynamic last year, it's just, that's probably the biggest decision I'm guessing you've got to make.
Yeah, that's a hard decision. I think Maddie was she was very dynamic, but she's also really good at everything. She's a great defender, great passer, great leader, great energy on the floor. So I think that's kind of the hard part. It might be a group, might be somebody in the front row, somebody in the back row, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We got the tools.
It opened up a spot for, like you said, having two different people go front row, back row that way and get one more person on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
One question of the week, favorite professional player, Olympian, whatever, that can be a secondary, same person if you want, who you think your skills emulate.
You're up first.
Me first? What Olympic athlete do my skills emulate? Michael Phelps, probably. Because I sink every time I get in the pool. Or you want a current Olympian?
Doesn't matter. Or pro. You could be Karch.
Nothing wrong with being Karch. Three-time gold medalist, 4-time gold medalist, now with the coaching. I'll take Karch. Yeah. And he went to UCLA. I worked at UCLA. Yeah, we'll go Karch. Yeah.
You got it.
I really like Haley Washington. She was a big leader in the Olympics this year, and I also like Max Holt on the men's team. I've been following him for a few years and watching a lot of his stuff through Italy and just the Olympics also.
Haley played in your club, too.
Haley also played at my club, yeah. She was there the other day.
I'm going to hop on the Haley Washington wagon too, because, yeah, same club. But also, when you watch her play, like, obviously we're very different positions, and she's much taller than me. But, like, her excitement after every point is very similar to how I play.